welcome to the In a Nutshell podcast with myself, Andrew Miles Davis, and my co-host, Chris Branch. This is the daily 10-minute podcast where we take out all of the techie talk around generative AI and focus on what the everyday person, content creator, and marketer wants to hear. Now, we've only got 10 minutes, so we can only focus on one subject, except for today, which is Friday. And as you know, Friday is all about the news. So what we've been doing over the week is just kind of curating some of the most important parts that we feel that marketers, content creators, and the everyday person will be interested in hearing, and we're going to deliver it to you. So what we're going to start off with this week is that there's been a lot of platform software stroke updates. Yes, we were talking about Sora in the previous episodes, so OpenAI Sora, that happened, but that was more last week. But this week, there's been a lot of updates to some of the videos that's been created, and we're starting to really see what's possible. But another one that we're seeing is the text to video game space. Now, this is Google Genie. Don't know if you've seen this, but Google Genie essentially is I create some form of prompt and you're creating this 3D world, which is like a video game. So Chris, have you seen the Google Genie stuff?
It's pretty insane, right? Yeah. Like the fact that it's able to guess at the physics of a game without ever actually being told the physics of the game, just by this image that it's fed in. Crazy. And that it's playable somewhat, pretty damn cool. It feels like, though, that's the very first step in a long step before we actually get playable games that are generative like that. But the fact that they're doing it at all is pretty nuts.
Yeah, and the fact that it can learn a game. It's Google, they've got what's called DeepMind. They're learning games. Well, they can learn beyond games, but they can learn at this example, or for this example, they're learning a game and essentially recreating it, and to the point where we'll be able to very soon write a text and we'll be able to create parts of the game. So that was text to games, but there was something else that happened this week that was kind of released yesterday, really, that we kind of saw it for the first time in this type of format, and that is text to music. So this is, I type a prompt and it creates a song. So Chris, do you want to explain the company who was behind it?
Yeah, so I think this is version 3 of Suno, and Suno's been probably one of the most competitive to date for making proper music out of like just text prompts. Fascinating that it's made such big leaps yet again, and has again probably gone to the forefront of the music generative thing, I would say. Can do all types of genres, can make up lyrics for you, and be extended if you like it. So that was the coolest feature I actually saw, is you could like generate a 30-second, say, country music song, and if you really like that, you can ask it to extend it to 3 minutes, and it will. And that's bloody insane. You can make full-length tracks with a chorus and an intro and a bridge and a back to the chorus and then an outro. You're like, what actually the hell?
That is crazy. If the video game one was crazy, this is crazy, because this is the video game, as Chris mentioned. That's probably going to happen, like to the point where we look at it and think, "Wow, that's." Again, I'm going to say next year, the year afterwards, but who knows in this AI space? It could be April, but I'm assuming it's going to be quite a while. But the music one is, it's insane how quick it's kind of grown. Essentially, you're creating your own songs, so. That's definitely.
And I heard that one's going to be released at 29th of March. And you can sign up for early access if you already have a Suno account for the new release.
So that's coming very, very soon. Another platform update, and this is feature update, and this is more to do going back to the text to video generation space, and that is the lip syncing. So we've got what's been a problem, I should say, when it comes to video generation is creating a video, you've got audio or someone speaking and the lips are just not in sync. Now we're getting to the point where you rather than try and compete with Sora, which a lot of organizations are going to do in the background anyway, they still need to be relevant. So what's happened recently is one of the companies, who was it again? Was it 11 Labs, or was it?
For the sound effects,
So 11 Labs created the sound effects, but the lip syncing one.
That was Alibaba.
That was Alibaba. That was it. Alibaba created the lip syncing one. Now, we've tried it, and, well, Chris, what do you think of the results?
It looks stupidly good. It's
Yeah.
actually spooky because it only needs one single reference image, and then you input an audio track, and you can make that reference image look as though they sang that audio track. The most impressive thing about it, because I've been using a lot of these lip syncing things recently, is the fact that they've trained it on the emotions and expressions that should go alongside the type of singing. So if someone's singing in a really high note, they close their eyes and they tilt their head, and if they're feeling expressive, they're sort of looking down and looking towards the cam. It's insane. It's actually spooky.
Yeah, some really, really cool progression in that particular space, especially from Alibaba. You look at Alibaba as one of the biggest companies in the world, and they've just been quite silent. And all of a sudden, they've kind of released this. So what else have they got kind of coming? So that's going to be
Amazon too, yeah.
Another one, just to finish off some of the updates, and that is a company called LTX and also Stability AI, and they created what's called storyboards, which is really important if we're going to go down the video generation. You can create films, because creating a film might sound easy, but once you actually sit down and try to do it and you try to put together the story, that's when it becomes, well, hold on, this is a lot more difficult than I thought. And what you've got here is a platform where it's just making it easy to kind of storyboard, kind of tell that story in a particular way, in a succinct way. So that's kind of like the main ones. There's been loads of other ones, but they're kind of the main ones. But there are other news that we want to talk about. One of them, and again, really, really quickly, pet peeves. What we've got now is there was we've seen this week transparent laptops. We've seen folding phones. We've seen rings. It's one of those ones that we're just looking at and we're just like, oh God, gimmick or game changer. So what you've seen, Chris, I kind of know the answer to this, but I want you to tell everyone. Gimmick or game changer, for example, the ones that I've just mentioned.
Game changer to the lip sync, but my pet peeve with that is it's Alibaba. We never know when we're going to get it, if we're ever going to get it. They might just have put it out and gone, look what we can do internally. Literally, we don't know that will be a product that any one of us can use. And that's so teasing. So that is a game changer, but I'm also giving it the gimmick of I don't know when it's coming out, if ever.
Sure. And then the gimmicks is definitely like the transparent laptop.
Oh, what is that? I just don't. I can't wrap my head around why anyone needs anything transparent other than for display purposes in shops and stuff.
Yeah.
I really don't understand it. So if anyone out there wants to leave a comment on this video and tell me why you're buying a transparent TV, maybe I'll think about it. But until then, I doubt it.
Yeah. So the last news that we want to kind of end on is we'll end on a good note. And it was to do with the NHS. So a tool was developed by the University of Bradford and Newcastle upon time, the NHS Foundational Trust there, which utilizes AI to analyze images of organs and determine their stability for transplantation. So what you've got is this tool, and it's called ORQA, which stands for Organ Quality Assessment. And the point of this is to increase the number of kidney and liver transplants performed in the UK annually by assessing people to see whether or not it will help or they're not in the position to take the transplant. So the creators, they say it could lead to 200 more kidney transplants and 100 more liver transplants each year. And hopefully, if it goes really well, and so far it looks like some really good signs, is that they're going to expand it to different other organs like the pancreas, the heart, and the lungs. Now, this is also what's really important about this, is that it's designed to assist rather than replace human decision-making when it comes to organ assessments. So, and they're about to, they've been nominated for a national NHS award. So, obviously there's a lot of great stuff that's been happening out there, but it'd be interesting to see if it wins, but the fact that people are talking about it right now really kind of showcases the use of AI when it comes to the health Well,
It's
help
such
you out.
a needed one, isn't it? Like if you're listening to this and you don't live in the UK, you may not know how bad our waiting lists are when it comes to treatment of specific things like organs and stuff like that. But it's sometimes years, and if you don't have like a catastrophic issue, then sometimes you never get it.
Yeah.
Actually, my uncle is looking for a replacement organ at the moment, and they've deemed it not life-threatening, and therefore he's not even getting on the list.
Oh,
So
no.
if this opens this up to, other people, if I could have actually looked at the NHS and said, what's one of the issues we'd like AI to target? It's getting the wait list down for major transplants. So
Yeah.
that's a huge one.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on that one. And that, in a nutshell, is the news for this week.